Hello. Hey everybody, how y'all doing? Good morning, good evening, good afternoon to you, wherever you are, whatever time it is when you listen to this. Welcome to my channel. All right, y'all. So, ultimately, this is the Destiny Path reading for Destiny Path 8. Destiny Path 8. Hey guys, I'm hoping you guys are doing okay. If you're unaware of how it is to calculate your destiny path, what you do is you will take all the letters of your name, assign a number to them, then add those numbers up and keep adding them up until you get it reduced to a single number. Okay? All right. Meaning you will take the numbers 1 through 9, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Then you would take each letter that will be correlated, like one would be A, two would be B, three would be C, all the way through until you get through Z. Okay? And then calculate it all up. All right? You add it up and you keep adding until you get a single number. Okay? All right. So not all readings are gonna resonate with everyone. If it doesn't resonate with you, that's okay. That is okay. And if it don't fit, don't force it. Just relax. Let it go. Just 'cause that's how you want it doesn't mean it will be so. If it don't fit, don't force it. All right, all right. So, Destiny Path 8, right? Abundance. There being abundance, that's also like the eighth house, kind of like that Scorpio essence. But it's that way station right before things end, right? Like that seven is when you feel it ending, that eight is when you're getting all of the tools necessary so that it can end, and then nine is when it actually ends. Okay? That's where that abundance portion comes into place, all right? All right, so official person, 22, Mason. Oh, during these readings, I don't typically call out like zodiac signs because it will be something that you would need to look into for yourself, okay? But official person, influence of a lover. So Mason building, and occupation. Anything else? Okay. Okay, so the concern. The concern that'll come into place with one working and there being unexpected income, and then there be this judgment of this main male and the expectation of them being a wealthy man. Okay, so within this official person, like the official person, this is given Destiny Path 8, is that it would have to be someone who would be wealthy. And that would be the concern or the lesson that comes into place with this concern or 33 master teacher essence. That'll be a part of the lessons that come into place within there being this unexpected income. And something else that is given Destiny Path 8 is how you would think that it would be one person and you expecting it to be somebody else. Now, cause what it said is the I think it's this, but I think it's that. We finna go to the Toth deck real quick because obviously there's a situation that will be going on that one would know more. It's an especially considering the whole Masonic aspect about a person being single. Mm, and then there being insurance, assurance, not having a paycheck, the independence that comes with them one not having a paycheck, and then there being this Prince of Cups, so this friendship and putting the will being being fortunate in friendship, and then there being the essence of what it is that will be hidden in the discussions and the enlightenment of what comes in with love and looking inside oneself. Part one, part two is you got this which wolf you feeding. That's what you got to pay attention to, Destiny Path 8. The wolf it is that you feed, because true enough, there's abundance, right? But abundance comes in a lot of different ways, right? You can have an abundance of problems, or you can have an abundance of solutions. You might want to check your mindset in regards to some of it. The other portion of it, right, that would be going on is there being some injustices within one being isolated. This is a lot of major arcana though. So the planets that are going to be associated with this is definitely going to be the atmosphere of Venus and the grounded nature of Mercury. So what would be anchored in communication, and how, oh yo no, some of this is gonna be in regards to the eclipse. Y'all, some of the discussions it is that would have came into place when we was having them eclipses. And it would have been about an eclipse 10 years ago. I want to say it was in like 2015, 2016. 2015, 2016, that was an eclipse that went on. And at the time I was teaching, so, um, but ultimately, we did you what is your protective gear like? And realistically, what the eclipse does is it activates another portion of the pineal gland. That's why you get some people who looked at it without glasses and things of that nature. But not everybody is capable of doing it. So I don't suggest it, but you know. And the other portion of this, right, that comes into place with it is the strength of things being balanced in regards to a conflict. One of the other things that, yeah, the adjustments of shifting one's inspiration. Some of this stuff that is really given is the whole ideal set of how it is you view money and what you constitute as wealth. Because it's not, the card didn't come up, but your health is your wealth, right? As long as you are strong enough to do certain things, you can always get certain things back, right? So it's that part. The other portion of it is how a person would have been um, single or independent. If this is business, it'll be, about independent. If this is about love, then it'll be about them being a single person, right? Not being in a relationship. And the reality of them being the 10th coin, right? And what it is that happens and goes on when one doesn't have a paycheck or an inheritance, and how one being single and they wouldn't have an inheritance, or they like wouldn't have kids or happiness or joy to look to. Oh my goodness, you poor things. I'm not laughing because I think it's funny, haha. I'm laughing because it's funny, ironic. The oddity of what I'm getting from this that would need to be explored is what it is that would have been hidden, that would have been talked about, and a person knows. Because with this sun and moon, right? And actually, it's the moon in front of the sun. So it's the emotions that would have been hidden. It is given the what it is that would have been going on at night, and not only the supernatural, but in going on this new beginning in the contract. What? Yeah, the in short, the Destiny Pathway. What is given is the things that would come from the not only the supernatural aspect, but the spiritual contract of a beginning, or a contract's beginning. Now, because one of the things I want to say is in the beginning. Oh shoot, man, it's a tower moment. Excuse me, y'all. In the beginning, within you looking inside yourself. Pay attention to, and that's part of that. That's the reason why there's this concern with there being an occupation and there being unexpected income as a judgment. The other thing that this is giving is the difference between the fool's journey versus the hermit's journey. Okay, yeah, because one of the things that happens with the fool's journey is you definitely go through, like, if you know, you know, if you don't, you don't, but you go through every stage, right? From zero all the way to the completion, right? Now, what ends up happening is after you've mastered, say for instance, the zero, then you go to the one. Then after you've mastered the one, then you go to so on and so forth. Okay, it's pretty much what this is going boiling down to. And within this whole looking inside oneself and introspection, in short, examine your spirit is basically what this spiritual contract is stating. Within there being this tower moment of there being work and the truth of one not being healed in the community and the ending of the discussions within walking in with the offer of reconciliation and reciprocation. What, yeah, so some of this Destiny Path 8 is looking like how a person wouldn't have wanted things healed by the community. That's that part. The other portion of it is you got that Pluto aspect, and then what it is that would have been what I'm getting from it. The anxiety that comes with walking in with an offer, a small offer or an offer of stability, and that counting as reciprocation. This is a lot of Earth essence, and realistically, it's a lot of Taurus and Virgo. It's not a lot of Capricorn. So realistically, it's about the stability and practicality that comes within how things are organized. How would you organize it? And the other thing that's kind of coming is within this whole working in the truth or working on one's truth. You got to know who you are. Destiny Path 8, especially when you wouldn't be heartbroken in a community. Yeah, okay, because one of the things that is kind of given Destiny Path 8 that you got to really review is, are you going to be the same person? I heard, go ahead and say what you have to. Are you going to be an asshole just because someone else is an asshole? They're being an asshole, but is that who you are? Does someone else have that much power over you to control you, pull you completely out of character, make you be someone that you aren't at your core just because that's who they want to be in that moment? That's that part. The other portion of it is some of this Scorpio, that's a fixed mindset with Pluto, right? That's a fixed mindset. That's something that it's giving, yeah, it's giving growing pains. That's what that's giving. Okay, Destiny Path 8 is giving what it is to have growing pains and the wisdom that will be associated with knowing about a high priestess and things not being about romance or illusion or seeking the sacred, but it being about the truth of what is important realistically, the truth of things, right? And within dealing with this whole wisdom aspect of knowing it as a high priestess, there will have to be discipline. And there has to be a particular amount of discipline that comes into place. The main thing that that word discipline, Destiny Path 8, right? I really want you to sit with yourself and understand that because discipline does not always mean chastisement. Those are two different words. Okay, discipline, I remember, and it's coming to me now, so I'll talk about it a little bit. I remember my mom, right? She got so offended when I said I need some discipline. I was like 14, 15 years old, y'all, right? And it was right at the time that I was dealing with Air Force, right? AFJROTC. And within me dealing in that, I learned discipline. And it wasn't because it's not necessarily discipline in for lack of a better phrase, in beating somebody ass. It's realistically knowing how to break down and structure yourself. That's what true discipline, armor, and boundaries is. Okay? And when you are in that position of being a high priest or even just being intuitive, nurturing your intuition, you have to be disciplined in that. You can't let everybody come in and just do and say and woo, all that other stuff, okay? So that's that portion. All right, Destiny Path 8, especially with this whole high priestess essence, yeah, having to know how the high priestess aspect of being stable and practical matched and paired with the intelligence to know how to shift and change and elevate things so that there can be balance. Let's get one of these little, let's get a love message for you, okay? Destiny Path 8. The essential theme of this is the truth. Knowing what, no, cuz it's giving that song. Cause he is the truth and he is so real. And I love the way that he makes me feel. And if I am a reflection of him, then I must be fly. Cause his light shines so bright. Friendships. Y'all gotta pay attention to your friendships. Because in this discipline, armor, and boundaries, a friendship is just as important as a romantic relationship. You start off, if you really want a successful one, you'll start off being friends because you have to have those lines of communication open up, right? Nurture the bonds of friendship within your relationship, and your love life will dramatically improve. Meaning, some of y'all finna have to drop into your heart. You're gonna have to drop into your heart and embrace. Through each other, you find the missing pieces. Okay, so yeah, within this whole aspect of alchemy, right? What it is that would need to be healed in the end, it'll be about getting all the pieces together for yourself. Okay, getting the pieces together and and understanding the pieces. PEACES and PIECES. This is what this means. What I mean by that. What constitutes as peace for one person may not constitute as peace for another person. One person's peace may be listening to loud music out loud, right? Another person's peace may be listening to it in their headphones. Another person's peace may be self-medicating often, right? That may bring them some peace, right? But understand that they're self-medicating. While the other person's piece would be to self-medicate every now and again, okay? But I'm hoping, I hope that made sense. I hope it made sense, okay? But and understanding that peace is a free will choice. That's one of those tricky things that come into place. PEACE, peace is a free will choice. So in short, you can't force a person to be peaceful. You cannot. However, you can discipline yourself so that you understand what peace is for you. Okay? All right. So hopefully it helps you guys out just a little bit, gave you a tad bit of an inclination as to a few different things it is that will be going on. If you like to schedule your own personal touch of clarity, you are more than welcome to do so at lightwork ain't lightwork LLC at gmail.com. All right? All right. Because see, remember, light work, it ain't like work. It is not light work. It's not light work. And that's why you have to stay light while you work.